Hi guys, a lot of people are paying a lot of money for this Android app called DMV driving test routes. A couple of days before I went to the road test, I also downloaded this, installed, and even paid around $15 for a 1-month subscription to get access to the routes, which probably will be used during the road test at my DMV location here in Florida. And so this is my experience. Of course, I have to blur a lot of this stuff here, but I'm definitely going to show you some interesting things here. So when we open it, usually you can choose your location. It's very important to choose the right location, because for the $15 you get only access to one location, and I've seen in the reviews that it can be very difficult to change that location even using the support. So make sure that you're choosing the right location right from the beginning, and then you have it right here. And then for our location I see 5 routes, so let's go into that. I click here on the first one. Of course I have to blur this a little bit for you to not get in trouble, but I should be able to still show you some very interesting things. So what we have here, that's the location of the DMV. We have the start and the stop, and that looks pretty interesting. So we can either start this navigation here, or we can choose the next track. You can see you can just go here, use the arrow, and then go to the next mock car test route. But let's, for example, go back to the number 1, and so I'm going to mark some things here. I hope you can see that. I'm marking the 2 main roads close to DMV in red, and these are really main roads. Each of these roads have 3 lanes in every direction, 6 in total, and so these are roads which they are never using. I mean, in general, they could use main roads. I've seen some discussion about, some people were saying in Florida they never go on a main road, and I think during DMV road tests they really don't do that. I think it's more like private driving schools where you can also take the road test. They are going sometimes on main roads, but I've never heard that DMV in Florida brings you to a main road during the road test. And 5 of our family members here have been taking road tests here in this area. 4 of our family members have been taking tests exactly at this location, and 1 at a closed location during COVID where this thing was closed here. But nobody has ever been on a main road, so the likelihood that they will go on a main road, which is part of this mock car test route, is pretty much 0. So for me, this mock car test route seems to be very unlikely. So let's check the next one, and here we have exactly same thing. We also have these 2 main roads here, and here this route is touching, and also here it's touching. I mean, not only touching, it shows that they have been following the main road. And let's check next one here, exactly same thing. Here not touching both of the roads, but this thing here for very long. And then route number 4 touching here 2 of the main roads, or both of the main roads. Track number 5, exactly same thing here. Large main road here, large main road here. And so I think that was the last one. So all of these tracks showed using 1, or most of them even 2 of these main roads, which are really close to the DMV, which usually seems to be likely that examiners would let you drive on these main roads, but that's not going to happen. I can guarantee you're not going to the main road from there. I mean, me and my wife, we have been very experienced drivers when we took the road test, and they could clearly see that we are very experienced because we have already driver's license from another country, and so they wouldn't hesitate to go with us on a main road, but they didn't, and they definitely will not go on a main road when they see that it's a young driver, 16, 18 years, with not a lot of experience. They wouldn't take this risk here. And my wife and me, we passed both the test, the road test, and both of us didn't have to use any of these tracks, not anywhere close. We had zero match here, not a little bit, maybe just like 50 yards or so at the beginning or at the end. That was about it. But other than that, the roads which we had to take were far away from these tracks which they showed here in this app. It's very, very disappointing here. I don't know where they have this idea that this would be the tracks here for the road tests. I can guarantee these are definitely not the ones. Of course, you maybe also want to know how this would work. Then I've never done this before, so I do this first time. So let's click here on navigate. Yeah, it says I'm too far away from the DMV, and because I'm too far away from the DMV, I can't show the live route, but I can use this navigate to DMV. And so let's click on navigate. Yeah, looks like there's some real basic navigation here built in. Doesn't look too bad, at least here at the beginning, but I heard from other people that the navigation was really not accurate, but I can't really give you any information about that. For me, at least at the moment here, doesn't look too bad. But if you have already bought it and also took the test at DMV, no matter where it was, would be really interesting to learn from you what your experience was. Did you have a match here? Would be almost unbelievable, but I'm open to any discussion about that, what your experience was. But anyway, I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video, sharing my personal experience. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.